Welcome to our noon flow. We're going to do something a little slightly different today in that we'll be going through the standing part of class rather quickly, just building up heat and energy so that we have time to go a little more slowly through the more hip opening and grounding postures. And we're actually going to start standing today. So come up to the top of your mat. And just take a moment. You might even shift from foot to foot, lift and lower. Really sink into Samasthiti, equal standing pose. Feet can be hip width or together. And I'm actually not going to give as many modifications as usual. It'll be a pretty strong practice, but definitely listen to your body, modify if you need to. And as you stand, just articulate really stable posture, especially in your core, and know that this is your reference point for all of your postures today, especially the standing posture. So take a few deep Ujjayi breaths. So create that little sound in the back of your throat. And feel your breath in your body. Your eyes could be open or closed for just 5 more breaths. Animate your body with your breath. How can you bring more aliveness? Great. And as you breathe, tune into what your intention is today. It could be as simple as staying connected to your breath. Stability is a good one. Maybe it's being present. And then we'll connect into our intention by sweeping the arms out and up. Draw your hands to your heart, drawing down your intention. And we'll make the sound of Om 3 times to really connect in with this intention. Inhale to begin. Om. 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 Inhale. Bow to your heart. Release your hands. Open your eyes. Gaze out and down in front of you, and we'll begin to move. Inhale your arms out and up. First just with a half sun salute. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe in, lengthen. Breathe out, fold. Again, rise back to standing. One more half sun salute. Inhale, lift. Exhale, completely fold, soften. Breathe in, half lift. Roll your shoulders back. Breathe out, fold. Breathe in, rise up. Keeping that engagement in your core. And right into our first sun salute. Today we're going to just do things a little bit differently. So we'll inhale, lengthen halfway. Step your right leg back. Pause and go back to down dog. Adjust, and on your inhale, come to plank. And for the first one, you might just lower all the way down, tops of your feet down, cobra, low or high. Exhale, back to down dog. Adjust, walk it out. Step your right foot between your hands to that long, low lunge. Left foot between your hands, half lift, forward fold. Breathe in, rise up to standing. We'll go right down to the next one. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe in, lengthen halfway. Step your left leg back, brief flow lunge. Transition to down dog first today, just changing it up a bit. Inhale, plank, and as you feel comfortable, maybe you lower to chaturanga halfway and into up dog, but you could keep to the floor in cobra if you prefer. Few breaths in down dog, walk it out. To transition, step your left foot and then your right foot forwards. Find length in your spine, half lift. Forward fold, breathe out completely. Breathe in, rise up. And this time let your hands go by your sides. Give yourself a pause. Reconnect to Ujjayi breath. We'll keep going. A couple more of those. Inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe in, lengthen. This time step your left leg back. And we'll shift back to down dog. And inhale, forwards to plank. Shift halfway to chaturanga up to up dog, or feel free to adjust that to cobra instead. Child's pose or down dog. Focus your eyes either between your heels or at your navel. Feel the fronts of your legs firing up. Imagine somebody was kind of touching your quads and lifting them up for you to remind you. And then you can step your left foot forwards. Pause in that brief flow lunge. Right foot forwards, half lift. Forward fold. Rise to standing. Right to the next one. Exhale, fold. Breathe in, lengthen. Right leg back. Down dog. And then as you inhale, feel strength in your core as you lower halfway or all the way down. Cobra or up dog on your inhale. Exhale, child's pose or down dog. Feel how you're connecting to your strength. You can always walk it out in down dog. Ujjayi breath. Breathe deep through the back of your throat. Step your right foot. Brief lunge, left foot. Half lift. Forward fold. Rise up to standing and come to mountain pose on your exhale. Take a one round of breath, finding your reference point of mountain pose. We'll do one last round, and this time you might explore hops. Inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift and either step back or hop back with a lot of core strength. Lower down in the way that feels best for you to up dog or cobra. Roll over your toes, down dog, breathe. Focus again your eyes, your drishti, between your heels or at your navel. Just feel how you can sink deeper in the pose. Okay, when you're ready, get ready. Lift your heels, bend your knees, look forwards. Walk, step, or hop with lightness. Lengthen as you land. Exhale, fold. Right to the next round, we've come to chair pose. So sink your pelvis, lift your arms. Feel like you're hugging something gently between your hands. Find a point for your eyes, sort of towards that corner of where the wall meets the ceiling. Or you can look at your thumbs if it feels right to bring your hands together. Sink your hips a little deeper and inhale. Tone up the low belly. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe in, lengthen halfway. And then we can go back to our down dog again. Just take your pause and inhale, plank. Lower down, cobra or up dog. Okay, down dog. So just mixing it up, we're going to try the left leg first today. So lift your left leg high. Step your left foot between your hands. Right foot down, warrior one. Rise up and pause a couple deep breaths. Once you find stability in your legs, you can start to lift and open. Find whatever feels good in the arms. Good, big inhale. Step back to down dog, just getting used to little things that are a little bit different to keep your awareness. Inhale, forwards to plank, lower halfway or all the way. Cobra or up dog, open your heart, fire up your low back. Down dog, lift your right leg. Right foot between your hands, left heel down. A little bit of space maybe between the feet, warrior one. Pause. Breathe and feel. Add what feels good in the shoulders. Okay. Big inhale. And shift back to your down dog. And either stay here or add your flow. Plank, cobra, or up dog. Down dog. And then maybe experiment with feet wider or feet closer to your hands. Just find a different little bit of nuance in your down dog. Okay, good. Lift your heels, step or hop forwards, find length, forward fold, chair pose. Okay, and stand, root into your feet, pause a moment and feel. So we're going to keep that same pattern, but just add on a little bit from there. Okay. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Step back to your down dog. And then tune into your low belly and pelvic floor as you shift forwards to plank and into up dog or cobra. Down dog. Again, with our left leg first, just mixing it up a little bit. Left leg high. Step your left foot forwards. This time, one breath in warrior one. Open up warrior two. A little bit different today. Find humble warrior from warrior two. So interlace your fingers behind, straighten your arms and lift your heart. And fold towards your inner thigh or your inner knee. Just notice how this is just a little bit of a different way of approaching a familiar pose. Firm into your feet, inhale back up, warrior two. Open into reverse warrior, peaceful warrior, your hand on your thigh or your hand behind. Big inhale there, and then exhale, cartwheel your arms all the way down. So you, again, a little bit different. Find your down dog. Inhale, plank, go through your flow, or you can always skip that flow if you need to. Pause a moment, notice the difference between sides. Okay, right leg high, right foot between your hands. Warrior one, just a brief warrior one. Lift up your arms. Open up warrior two. A little bit different. Interlace your fingers. Draw your shoulders back. Humble warrior. Lean towards your inner knee. Maybe your shoulder touches your inner knee. Careful of your pelvis and hips. Strong legs. When you're ready, come back up warrior two. And then open up to your reverse. Peaceful, exalted warrior. Inhale there, and exhale, cartwheel your arms. See what it's like to go to down dog first and then stay, or find your really fluid, strong, rhythmic flow through cobra or up dog. And maybe give yourself a break in child's pose or down dog, few deep breaths. Okay, so we're gonna do some fun stuff now. Again, we're practicing the left leg first just to mix it up. So left leg high, okay? And then knee towards your nose. Take your time, knee to nose, to find your deepest core strength. Inhale back. We're gonna go to the left arm. See if you can touch your left elbow or tricep. Smile. Inhale back. Whew. Right elbow or tricep. Okay, then roll open and stay here or flip your dog. So left foot comes around, your right foot pivots. You can lift your arms straight up or up and over, and then squeeze your inner thigh, squeeze your pelvic floor. Good, and then something different than usual. We're gonna shift to side plank. So lower your left hand, come to plank. Feet can be together or just pivot onto the outer left edge of your foot to come to side plank with your right arm up. Just a couple breaths here. You can always bring your right foot to the floor to make it easier. And we're going to transition to a lunge. So step your right foot between your hands. Okay, and then strong left leg as we come up to high lunge, crescent lunge. Lift your arms. Are you getting warm yet? I'm getting warm now. Bring your hands to your heart and breathe right into your heart. Notice just what feels good, your edge, and then we're going to twist. So maybe it's a gentle one, hand outside your knee. Maybe it's elbow outside, or open the arms from there. So just be really mindful of your low back, how everything's feeling. You can always lower your hand inside your foot for a gentler version. Okay. Then from here, just go right back to your down dog. Pause or find your flow just to clear the slate. You can always do a knees, chest, chin just to bring in a little more ease to the low back. Couple deep breaths to equalize you, whatever feels good. Child's pose, down dog. Notice how that feels. And then other side, so left leg, not left leg, now it's right leg. See, I'm used to always doing the right first as well. So right leg high, knee to nose. Inhale back. Draw your knee towards your right arm or elbow and feel your strength. Strong belly. Then toward your left elbow, squeeze. Maybe someday you can do the arm balance from here. And then roll open, flip your dog if you did before. And open your heart, squeeze inner thighs, squeeze pelvic floor. Find your back bend. And then we're gonna come to a side plank on the right. So right hand goes down, feet come together in plank, pivot to the outer edge of your right foot, left arm high, strong legs. Feel your strength. You can step your left foot partially forwards to start to transition to your lunge. High lunge, inhale, rise up. Take your time. It's a lot of work for the brain to do things differently, so let things balance out. Hands to heart and inhale. Find your favorite twist. It can be quite gentle, hand outside the knee, or slide your elbow outside. Keep very vibrant in your right thigh. Maybe you open it up. You can always bring your right hand under your right shoulder. Okay, good. More strength as you exhale, and then release your hands down, brief down dog, and then find your strong flow, maybe even more strength in your thighs in your next up dog to stabilize your low back. Child's pose or down dog, couple deep breaths. Take a moment. Okay, moving right along. Step or mindfully walk your feet forward. So we're going to come into a deep forward fold. So find length first, half lift. And you can either do fingers to toes, Padangusthasana, or hands under the feet. So you pick the one you prefer. Big toes or hands under the feet. Lengthen on your inhale and exhale, fold. Let this forward fold take you deep into your hamstrings. Sometimes this is called gorilla pose. Okay, one more deep breath. Inhale, lengthen. Take your hands out, hands to the hips. Bend your knees, slowly come up to standing. Take a moment, take a pause, feel your feet. Okay. And then just for fun, because we're going to do an inversion next, we're going to have our hands behind our head and elbows as though they're touching the ceiling. And just really focus on firming up through your belly. Tailbone draws down, so we get this feeling of doing this pose, but imagine you're doing it upside down. And then in reality, we'd be standing on our tippy toes because we'll point the feet a little. But for now, just stand. Lift your arms forward, fold, prepare for your inversion. So inhale, lengthen. Maybe you choose to take another flow, or you just come back down to downward facing dog. Lower to your knees. And if you're modifying today, you can actually get a lot of strength just from interlacing your fingers. Bring your head inside your hands, and then just lift your hips, but don't worry about lifting your legs. This could be really great, just trying to feel like you're lifting your head up. That can really build strength, so you actually don't have that much weight on the head. Or you can modify with dolphin pose. Okay, if you feel comfortable trying a full headstand, if you've never done it before, you might do it by a wall, but if you feel steady, just slowly rise and find just that slow transition into it is helpful so you don't fall. And then you can really connect to your core strength, leg strength, even strength through the feet. So nice steady breaths. Feel free to add any variations. Your forearms help you with your balance. Your core helps you with your balance. If you know the version where you bring your legs towards the floor halfway, you can pause with that. And then if you need to come down at any time, just come down and do a child's pose. If you come down early and want to try it again, do that. Couple more deep breaths. We're experimenting with an inversion earlier on in class when we still have some strength. So you can really feel your strength and then eventually find your child's pose just whenever you're ready to. So you just let your neck go. Feel how that inversion, just making yourself upside down, has shifted anything. It can shift our perspective. When you feel ready, you can add your downward facing dog. Great. Okay. Now, lift your left leg high. Left foot forwards, like our warrior one here. Inhale, left. Okay, now we're coming into some balance. So we're going to step the right knee in front. You can bring your hands to your heart to lift your right knee and shift to airplane pose. So I've got a block ready, so you might choose to have a block ready for our balancing posture. We'll eventually do a half moon. So at first with your knee in front, if you'd like, extend your leg. Maybe you add on, grab your toe, extend in front or extend to the side. Feel free to add one of those balances if you'd like, or just hold your knee. And then we'll move towards airplane when you're ready. Hips balanced, maybe arms in front. And then the option today, if you just want to play, I said on the right side, but you actually would have your block on the left side. So you could just play with hovering in your half moon today, or use your block for a little more support. But it might be fun just to try to be in the pose with complete balance. The block is very helpful though. So take your time to play with that. Okay, then we're going to land in a warrior two. So eventually land your right foot down, warrior two. Inhale. Long deep breath. And just pause here. Sink a little deeper in your warrior two. Sink through the pelvis, squeeze through the feet. Big inhale. As you exhale, side angle. So it could be forearm on the thigh, hand on the floor, or one version I like is to hold my right thigh with my left hand, so really connecting to my core, and then right arm up and over. For me, this really opens deeply in the right side more than the other variations. You really feel your strength. Maybe you look slightly back or up. 2 more breaths. You can always adjust the position. Connect down into your deep core strength and inhale up. Reverse warrior, just let that go a little bit. Okay. Then triangle pose. Straighten your front leg, tilt your pelvis to find your triangle pose. Again, the block could be helpful there, or hand on your shin. And just start to get strong through the legs and open through your top shoulder. Find what feels good in your neck, whether it's very active, looking up, or very relaxed, looking down or dropping your ear. Then from here, inhale back up to your warrior two. We're going to find our high lunge. Lift your back heel, lift your arms and inhale. Forward fold, go through your flow, or you skip the flow, down dog or child's pose. Maybe come to a spot where you can just notice the difference between sides. Maybe inhale nose and exhale mouth. Okay, other side. So now we lift the right leg, right foot steps between the hands for a warrior one. Inhale, rise. and preparing for our balancing sequence. You can bring your hands to your heart, lift your back heel, lift your left knee in front, and find what feels good to you. Could just hold your knee, hold your big toe or outer foot. You can extend your leg in front. As you stay steady in your core strength and your leg and foot rooting, you can open to the side. And then you could get a block ready if you know you want to use it in half moon. We'll shift to airplane first. Pelvis nice and level, arms by the sides or arms in front. And no worries at all if you come out of your pose, if you fall or have to readjust. And then start to stack your left pelvis over the right. And you can find your block or just explore. Maybe you come up higher than usual to balance, to really hover here in half moon, just something a little different. I like to eventually land with my hand on my block, just for that groundedness, and then eventually you can land in your warrior two again. Beautiful. Find your breath, because we're moving a little faster than usual, so you might have to slow down, reconnect to your Ujjayi breath. Okay, side angle, either forearm on the thigh or explore grabbing your left hip there. Left arm up and over. Feel how your forearm is pressing against your belly. Let that remind you to really breathe down to your pelvis. And deepen your side bend. Deepen the knee coming right over your ankle. Very strong pose here. You can always put your elbow down if you need to. Go deeper, and on your inhale, reverse warrior. Just unwind. Warrior two. Shift. Let's see, what do we do here? Lift your back heel, lift your arms. Brief high lunge, go through your flow. Oh, sorry, I'm forgetting something. I forgot triangle, so sorry about that. Straighten your front leg, shift to triangle pose, open up. There, you got it. Deep full breaths, open through your top shoulder. Find what feels good in your neck. Active neck looking up, forwards, or drop your chin or drop your ear. Find your flow or just find a place to pause. Sometimes I like to just sit on the heels and breathe. So your choice, flow or pause. Ujjayi breath still. Okay, we're still going to add a little bit of balance. So step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Find your chair again. Strong low belly. We're going to come into dancer pose from chair. So shift your weight into your right foot and bend your left knee. Grab your outer left foot and then start to straighten your right leg. Push your left foot into your hand for dancer. Gaze forwards. Maybe you have a little prop in front of you, a shelf or a wall you can touch to give you that little balancing help. Maybe you add a mudra to your front hand. Then slowly come out of it. If you'd like, bring your knee in front and inhale. Maybe extend your leg. Come back down. Roll out your standing foot. We are going to do that a second time, but first let's do the right leg first. So find chair, grab your right foot, extend your left arm, shift into your dancer. Press with your foot, pull with your hand. If you fall out of it, come back into it. Find that practice. Find your deepest expression, or maybe 80% of your expression, because we're doing it again so you can go deeper the next round. To come out, maybe lift your knee in front. Round two. So what I like to try the second round, find your chair pose, then maybe get your inner ankle this time. It's a little more of a stretch on the shoulder. So you can try inner ankle, or if that's too much on the shoulder, repeat the same one. Dancer pose second time. Maybe going deeper. And what's better, grabbing your pointed foot or grabbing your ankle and flexing your foot? Either one is fine. Knee can be in front to come out of it. Maybe extend your leg. Mountain pose, pause and feel. Whew. Doing great. Other side, so chair. Maybe try inner ankle. Dancer. Sink deep, push ankle or foot into hand, and really find what feels good. Pointed foot or flexed ankle. Eventually your knee can come in front, maybe extend your leg. Take your time, stand. Pause, feel. Okay, then let's lift our right knee in front. Inhale. Step back a little short warrior one, or it doesn't have to be short, just big stretch here. And then we're going to open out to the side, wide-legged forward fold. We're actually going to start with the toes out though, hands at the heart, and you can go side to side. So you can go knee over ankle, or if it works for you to shift down into a half squat with or without the hands. If your knees let you do that, you can try that. Otherwise, stay knees over ankles. So just rinse that out. And then you pause in the center. Some of you have already done an inversion. So if you want to do another one, feel free. But you might choose to just come into a forward fold, a deep or a gentle forward fold for a few breaths. Or you could keep exploring the side to side. Okay, great. You keep steady with your core if you are going upside down. Beautiful. Safe transition if you were upside down. Inhale, half lift, everybody. Turn your toes out, grab your thighs with your hands. Do a quick little twist side to side. Dip one shoulder then the other. Maybe add legs into that. So as you turn to one side, bend that same knee, bending left and right. And then come all the way back up, and we're just going to turn to our short warrior one. Now's the short warrior one. So inhale, short warrior one towards the front of your mat. Straighten your front leg, pyramid pose. So let your hands find your elbows, or fists or palms can come together. Reverse prayer. Inhale into that. Draw left hip back. Forward fold, pyramid pose, Votanasana pose. One version is forehead towards the knee or shin. Another version is heart more parallel to the floor. Open your throat and your heart a bit. And then we're going to twisting triangle. So you could just bring your hands to a block or two, and that could be your modification. Or bring your hand inside or outside your foot. I'm going to try outside. Then left hand can check that your sacrum is level. Then keep your sacrum level, twist open, maybe lift your left arm. Stay strong in the legs, twisting triangle. Good. From your belly, twist more. Beautiful. And then cartwheel up, warrior two. Again, you just give yourself that little pause. Cartwheel your hands down, lizard lunge, and here's where you can have some fun. So you can just hang out, maybe lower the elbows, or you can put your hand outside your foot. If you know the arm balance here, extending your left leg, maybe elbow to ribs, you might play with your arm balance and then go through your flow or rest on your belly, depending where you are with that. Ekapada, something, flying splits pose. I don't know can't think of the Sanskrit word. Beautiful. Okay, let's try that on the other side. We will step forwards, step or hop forwards. Inhale, lengthen, halfway. Good. Forward fold. Rise up to standing, sweep your arms out and up, and step your left leg back. Warrior one, inhale, lift the arms, and then open up to your wide-legged stance. So maybe this time hands on the hips, inhale, lift, Exhale, fold. I recommend a block, and then you can put your head on the block, and that can feel really soothing and nice to your nervous system. Or you might hold your big toes, do more traditional here. Maybe you can get your crown of your head on something, the block, the floor. Elbows could be above the wrist. You just do the one that feels right. For me, it just feels a little better to not have my head so low, so I'm just lifting my head and walking my hands more forwards. If you want to play with some twist here, you can just keep your pelvis level and do a quick twist, each arm up for a few breaths. Good. Sink a little deeper wherever you are. Inhale, find your length, bend your knees, grab your thighs. Twist a bit to each side, and then come up to standing. Turn to the front of your mat. Short stance in Warrior One. Lift your arms. Straighten your front leg. Votanasana, pyramid pose. Either hold your opposite elbow or do the reverse prayer with fist or palms. Lift on your inhale, look up. Firm your belly, right hip back. Left toes are angled forward quite a bit. Either heart pauses at one point and you keep that lift in your heart, or you fold in. This is so great in the neck and the low back. And then at some point you can release the hands, maybe find your block. Stay here if you're modifying, or put your hand inside or maybe even outside your foot. Hand on your sacrum, just check. Okay, I've got my right hip back. Just make that inner adjustment. You're your own teacher here, since I can't come and adjust you, so you got to find that in yourself. And then maybe you lift your arm up. Can you get longer in your spine, stronger in your core? Can you let a little hint of a smile on your face? On your next inhale, you can just swoop around to your Warrior Two. Take a big sigh of relief there. Cartwheel your hands down. Lizard lunge, hands or elbows inside. This could be a nice little resting pose, or you can bring your hand outside your right foot, shoulder to calf. Elbows draw in close, so your left elbow can come to your ribs as you fly in flying splits, and add your flow. And then you could just rest on your belly, or you go to down dog and then come to your belly. We can give ourselves a break here, forehead on the mat or on your arms, windshield wipe your feet side to side. Great. Okay, from here, Locust Pose. So we'll start in a version of this that really helps activate the upper back. So your hands come onto your mat with the palms up. You lift your head up, and then push your right hand down and push your left hand down. Press all of your knuckles of your fingers down, and then lift your right leg. Exhale down. Lift your left leg. Lift both legs. And then lift airplane arms, palms down, and maybe interlace fingers. Okay, good. And then one ear comes down, rest. Full breath in, full breath out. Okay, maybe add your knees bent. Grab your feet. Again, like dancer, you can grab your pointed feet or your flexed ankles. Repeat locust if you need to, or lift up in bow pose. I tend to have the knees heavy and the heart lifting, but there's another version where you lift your legs high too. And maybe look up. Inhale, lift, and then other ear comes down as you rest your neck. Relax your face. Maybe exhale out your mouth. And then you can have your arms under your forehead, and again, windshield wipe your feet. So here's your options. So option one could just be child's pose, or maybe a dolphin. If you want something a little more active, you could come with your feet against the wall if you're close to a wall, and you could practice your strength in, what's this one called? Crazy dog. So you could bring your feet up to your wall and make an L out of your body. It's hard to do it in my room that I'm in, but you might have a better setup. And if not, maybe you're just taking a strong dolphin, or maybe you play with there's these little frog hops you can do where you just build your strength. You're not actually trying to jump into a handstand. You're just building that sensation of finding strength in your arms. So you can do the 4 or 5 hops. You could do the crazy dog. You could do dolphin. So we're just trying to build our strength today so we can be in some of these more challenging postures in a gentler, more easeful way. So a couple more breaths wherever you are. Good. And then if you've got a block, grab your block. Maybe you have a blanket, you can grab your blanket. So we're going to come we're winding it down now. We're coming into back bends, quite a few back bends today. So definitely take these easy if you need to. So we'll start with camel. I always like to have a block between my inner thighs. But even if you don't have a block, just scooch your knees in close enough, about hip width apart. Draw your tailbone down. You could tuck your toes or not. So I always like to tuck the toes because that makes it where I don't have to reach as far. So start off, reach with your left hand. And maybe that's it. Maybe just lift your right arm up. Maybe you reach back with your right hand too, so you've got both heels. And then squeeze inner thighs open. Maybe let your head go back, maybe not. Couple deep breaths there. Okay, when you're ready, since we came in on the left, you can go out, kind of lean to your left and come up. Pause. You might have to sit back a moment and let your low back settle. We'll do it one more time if you're able to, and we'll reach with the right hand first. So either just right hand to heel, left arm up, or carefully bring your left hand back too. Squeeze inner thighs. Maybe this time you come to the tops of your feet, or this time you lower your head. Try not to crunch anything. You're opening the upper back. You can lean over to the right to come out of it, so we're not doing the same side every time. We're mixing it up. And then maybe sit on your block or sit on your heels or child's pose, just a resting pose for a moment. Open up your low back. Okay. And then extend your legs, use your core strength. We're going to come into bridge pose a few times. We'll do a few option for wheel pose, but let's start off easy with bridge. So get your heels close to the buttocks. Okay, inhale, lift your pelvis, roll your shoulders under. Deep, steady breaths here. Okay, on your exhale, lower down. Maybe exhale at the mouth. You might try one with a different arm position. Maybe arms are up. Bridge pose, round 2. So we're engaging inner thighs. Inner thighs are actually inner rotation is what we're finding in the inner thighs. Inner thighs towards the floor. Lower down, rest. And then in these next few rounds, you can start to explore wheel if you'd like. So for me, my low back has been bothering me lately, so I can do wheel, but not that long. So you might try it for anywhere from 1 to 5 breaths, depending on what feels right for you. So your hands are by your ears, fingers towards the toes, and you could even just try the arms, but lift the hips to bridge. If you want more, you can push straight up to wheel, or try to just come to the top of your head. That's a good little could be enough. Or you start to straighten the legs. If you need to, it helps me if I lift my heels up sometimes and just come down whenever you need to. Also, what I find can help is trying bridge with the block. You could do that. You could do regular bridge. And then for 1 or 2 times, either try wheel again, or maybe you just do your bridge pose again, or try it with the block again. So find what you need. Find what opens your heart, drawing your heart towards the back of the room that you're in. So you're really opening your shoulders. Good. Beautiful. When you come down, there's various ways to release the low back. I have found that just straightening the legs like a mini Shavasana can help me. Or sometimes I've seen windshield wiping the knees or butterfly pose, feet together, knees wide. So you find what helps you release your low back after back bends. But we don't want to immediately bring the knees to the chest. Okay. If it feels good, maybe you try grabbing your feet for happy baby. So grab your toes or your outer feet or inner feet. Happy baby can be a really nice way to release the low back after doing some spinal extensions that way. You can shift side to side. Sometimes I like to straighten one leg and then the other. It's like the on the back version of when we were in the wide-legged forward fold going side to side. Good inner thigh stretch. Okay, and then let's see what's next. All right, so we're going to come into, so if you're modifying pigeon today, right ankle on the left knee, and you can just stay laying down and do your nice little window stretch, or roll to one side or roll yourself straight up. You can roll over your cross-legged position to come to down dog. And again, we're trying the left leg. So left leg can lift and come forwards to pigeon. Find length at first, and you can stay with this length and strong legs drawing in, or you can lower down, maybe get a block for your forehead. And take your time. Slow, deep therapeutic breaths. Keeping that engagement between your two legs. Feeling what you can soften today, let go of today. Okay. We're going to put our, if you are doing pigeon, shift your weight into your, go ahead and lift up to straight arms first. Shift your weight into your left hip. Bring your right leg forwards. You can do cross-legged or right leg on top, cow face pose leg. So knees could be somewhat stacked. You can stay upright and do your little shoulder stretch. Left elbow up, right arm behind. Or arms in front, do more of the hip release. So you might find this is just yummy and you can stay here. Or if you'd like to open your hamstrings, which is really nice after doing the back bends, your left foot comes inside your right inner thigh, lengthen the right leg, maybe lift your arms. I like to put the right hand to the right and grab my left foot. So find your expression here of Janu Shirshasana to open the back of your spine, back of your leg. Slow breaths. Ujjayi breaths are still going. Great. And then you might find it feels really good to rise up, lift the arms, and then you can come back to your hands and knees or down dog. Maybe it would feel good to roll open your left leg that you just worked on and then draw your right knee forwards to pigeon. Or of course, if you did the modified version, go to your back and do whatever side and window stretch you haven't done yet. Lengthen, lower down. If you're lowering down in pigeon, slow deep breaths. And find in your pose how you can balance your softness with your inner aliveness, whatever that means for you, that gentle muscle engagement to protect your knee joint, to protect your pelvis, especially the knee though. Can you soften through your jaw? After all that movement, we're finally slowing down. Find eventually your straight arms, lifted pigeon. Weight into your right hip, bring your left leg forwards, cross-legged, or cross your left leg on top. Draw your feet towards your hips. If you're doing the shoulder one, right elbow up, left arm behind, grab your shirt or your fingers, or fold forwards, rest your head on something. Even here, active feet, shoulders, relax back from your ears. So you just stay here if this feels good. Or slowly lift up, extend your left leg forwards and scoot your right foot into your pelvis, into your inner thigh. Lift your arms if you did before. Find your hamstring stretch. Shavasana, and it is a subtle twist. So there's this little twist as you draw your heart towards your foot and your left ribs and waist towards the left. Each breath takes you deeper. Okay. You can lift your arms on your inhale to come out of it. Okay, so, and then we'll come on down for our finishing sequence, closing sequence. So if you're modifying today, just having your fist or hands under your hips and legs up, that is a really, it's called waterfall. It's great. The next step up from that is hips on the block, legs up. And then, of course, shoulder stand would be the full version. So you find your shoulder stand or your just legs up supported by the block. And just remember when you're in shoulder stand and plow, there's no moving in your neck. So if you've got to come and look at the screen, make sure you do that not from the pose. And notice what feels better. Is it feet a little pointed, active toes? Is it feet kind of moving around, turning around? Slow, deep breaths. And I just always like to remind people that it's not neck stand, it's called shoulder stand. So there's a natural curve in your neck. There's weight on your elbows, shoulders, and head, but not on your neck. And then you can just let your legs go to plow. So they don't have to go all the way to the floor unless that feels good. You can, any arm position that feels good. You can interlace your fingers for the deep one. You could even hold your feet, or arms could be wide. If it feels good to hug your knees by your ears, you can do that version of the pose. And just anytime you need. Some folks can stay there a long time, some folks not so much. Come out when you need to, and either cross your legs or have your legs straight to prepare for fish. So I always like to do cross-legged for some reason. And hands can be under your hips. Find fish pose. So I like hands under the hips, push into the elbows to lift your head. And you can either keep pulling your hands back, which keeps your head lifted more, or push your hands like you're pushing your hands forward, so let your head come to the floor. So you're opening your throat, you're opening your chest, and then whenever you want to come down, tuck your chin and straighten out your legs just for a moment, and we'll finish with a twist of your choice. So to keep it gentle, you can just bend both knees to go to one side. If you want to have it more intense, cross left leg over right and go right. Or the bottom leg can be straight, so you find your favorite twist here. Stay here just a moment to unwind. When you're ready, switch sides. So if you're doing the cross, right leg over left, or knees could be stacked, just the same twist you did before. It might feel really good to hug your knees in when you're done with your twists. Squeeze everything into a ball. Maybe lift your face, inhale deep, squeeze, and then come out into Shavasana. I recommend, especially after those back bends we did, if you have a pillow or a blanket, put it under your knees and just completely relax in Shavasana. So as you relax, scan through your body from head to toes or toes to head. And this is also a chance to adjust anything. If you feel like, oh, my shoulders are up too high to my ears, or something doesn't feel right, this is your time to adjust. The beauty of a strong practice like what we did today is that at the end we can actually let go more deeply. So just allow that sense of letting go, that sense of effortlessness, and tune into the movement of energy inside. Sometimes after the shoulder stand and plow, I feel like my throat has been awakened and things are just like moving or energetically moving around. Just notice if you have any sensations from your practice that you can start to notice. And of course, you don't have to do Ujjayi breath anymore. You just completely relax your breath. And as you're doing that body scan, maybe still just moving your awareness slowly through your body. What can you let go of on a deeper level? The hinges of your jaw. You can allow your cheeks to soften. We store so much tension in the face, so just take some time to move through your face and just letting your awareness remind you to relax these little deep crevices of your face. Deep within, towards the center of your head. So today's a little bit of a short Shavasana because of time, but if you're practicing now or with the recording, you might choose to just continue on in this relaxation position. So notice if you feel ready to come up, but if you've got the time, stay laying down longer. If you are coming up, just like usual, slow mindful movements at the extremities. And those little mindful movements could turn into bigger stretches. And when you eventually come up to a seat, just like we did at the beginning of class, notice if it would feel good to sweep your arms out and up. Draw your intention, sort of redefine or come to your intention in a new way. Maybe it's a different one. Connect with it. Find an Om to close. Inhale. Om. And we honor the light in ourselves and in each other. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me today.